It's good to welcome everyone this morning. We have some sunshine, brisk weather. Ought to motivate us to get out and walk briskly, right? Enjoy the weather. A number of guests today with updates as well as announcements. So I want to begin this morning with Public Works Director Howard Elstro, who has some guests who have been partners with the city and who are in fact competing for a very prestigious award.
I'd like to invite up here to the podium Mr. Stolly and Clyde Roush of the Tuttle Construction Company, and Mr. Tom McClellan of R.D. Jones. And this is referencing the Vine Street grade separation, a project that our engineering staff and representatives from ODOT and representatives from the private sector worked very, very hard to bring to fruition. Vine Street grade separation has been in service a year now, and it is just an incredible project from our perspective. And what Mr. Roush is going to speak to this morning is that this project is now poised to gain state recognition. And Clyde, if you would, tell us about that.
On behalf of R.D. Jones and the Tuttle Construction Joint Venture, I'm pleased to announce the Lima Vine Street Underpass Rail Separation Project has been submitted in the 2012 Build Ohio Industrial Heavy category. This contest is annually sponsored by the Associated General Contractors of Ohio, or simply AGC of Ohio. AGC of Ohio is a commercial construction trade association governed and directed by contractors. AGC of Ohio's 21st Annual Build Ohio Awards program will be presented this coming Friday evening, November 16th, in Columbus, Ohio. Ohio celebrates commercial construction in Ohio with competition in 7 different categories, and it has grown into one of the most prestigious statewide construction events and awards programs in the nation. We have some heavy competition. Other entrants into this category include Kokosing Construction from Middletown, Ohio, or they are submitting a project from Middletown, Ohio. It's called a coke and cogeneration facility. Mosier Construction from Fremont has submitted a large project called the Johnson Control Battery Production Facility, and that plant is located in Holland, Ohio. And Shook Construction has entered a water processing plant that they built in Dayton, Ohio. Our project that we're celebrating with our entry into Build Ohio was a massive infrastructure made possible due to the efforts of both R.D. Jones and Tuttle Construction. This project was mostly funded by stimulus monies provided by ODOT's American Reinvestment and Recovery Act. This was, believe it or not, the single largest stimulus project in the state of Ohio, consisting of the conversion of a standard railroad crossing into a new rail car separation and overpass. The project included a new railroad bridge, a 10,000 gallon per minute stormwater pumping station, concrete retaining walls, sidewalks, curbs, and landscaping. And here's just a few interesting specific facts about this project. It was funded with $12.9 million coming from ODOT's American Reinvestment and Recovery Act stimulus money, the largest federally funded stimulus project in Ohio, and the total cost was around $13.2 million, with hard and soft costs. The project was built on a fast-track schedule, and it now allows the city's southside vehicles and pedestrian traffic to move freely, bypassing the north-south train traffic. We removed and replaced 3,300 feet of track and a number 10 turnout. 1,800 new permanent track was installed. We added lighting and fencing and landscaping. The pump I told you about, concrete retaining walls, sidewalks, curbs. We also involved some residential demolition, and it also had a 5% DBE requirement, which our team exceeded. I'm pleased to announce that as well. R.D. Jones and Tuttle, we self-performed a significant amount of that work. And there were 4 project owners. which made it pretty interesting. The City of Lima, Ohio Department of Transportation, Norfolk and Southern Railroad, and the CSX Railroad. The Vine Street underpass rail separation project will directly benefit the lives of approximately 10,000 people in Lima's 5th and 6th wards. And the project in itself was innovative that it provided a 5-pronged approach to the city's logistical nightmare, and that was it provides a safer multiple rail crossing for motorists and pedestrians. It eliminates certain traffic congestion and delay. It reduces the motorist incidents by using residential streets to bypass the area. It provided a lot of aesthetic enhancements, and I have a handout with some of the pictures there, and you can see here on this board here the enhancement of what it's done to the neighborhood, and it significantly reduced the emergency response time for the EMS traffic. The City of Lima had to purchase right away from 25 different property owners, no small feat, and one of the most impressive parts of this project is its sheer beauty. One doesn't normally describe a bridge as beautiful, but this is no typical railroad bridge. The historical significance of this project was planned from the beginning. The City of Lima is known for its rich history of industry, rail, and locomotives, so the owners felt it was imperative that this new high-traffic bridge would reflect the city's heritage for all of Lima and its visitors to see. Therefore, a local artist was commissioned to provide a commensurate design. And just days before the project was completed, the steel through girder structure was adorned with a decorative historic display of the Lima Locomotives Works logo and Shea locomotive with matching boxcar, and it represents the Lima's storied locomotive history, and it's a display that honors the past while we look ahead to the future. Because of the great benefit this project provides to the residents of Lima, especially concerning the safety of her children, it's with great pride and satisfaction that we present this outstanding project for AGC of Ohio's 2012 Build Ohio contest, and will be available for questions afterwards.
Tom, any comments or?
No, not this time.
Okay.
I got it covered.
All right, very good. Howard, anything further?
Again, I just want to emphasize this is, I think, really an opportunity for the community to show off some of our local construction talent that we have here in Lima. You know, the Tuttle Company, and as well as R.D. Jones, are very capable firms and organizations. We knew that. We knew that before we entered into contract with them. We know from our experience with Vine Street, as well as the streetscape project that was performed the same year, their capabilities. And now, this Friday, the state will also know through this statewide organization what fine companies they are and what a fine project Vine Street grade separation is. Thank you. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
I'll just just add that I think, as I've heard folks in the neighborhood react, not just in the community overall, but folks in the neighborhood are very proud of what the investment has been. They recognize the convenience and safety that has now been created for them, and it really does anticipate increased traffic along that line. Both CSX and NS, we have a number of projects that are kind of cooking along from an industrial perspective. So this is not only, it's a beautiful piece of work done by our folks, but it is also an investment in our long-term future, and we very much appreciate what's been accomplished here. So now, as a segue to that, I want to bring up Kirk Neimeyer. Kirk is the city engineer, and on this project, Kirk broke his back. There's just no question that he was the lead person on our end, and the deadlines imposed under the stimulus funds were absolutely excruciatingly difficult to meet. If it hadn't been for Kirk on our side of this transaction, we wouldn't have gotten it done. So as a segue, I appreciate that, Kirk, all that you did, and we certainly applaud our private sector partners, but now we have some other announcements to make about additional changes that are forthcoming. Yes. Step up.
Thank you, Mayor. And there's a lot of folks on the city side, other than myself, that helped it come to fruition. So, thank you. But what I wanted to talk about today is, of course, capital improvements are always happening here in Lima to make our transportation system better. And project that we're multi-phase project that's currently underway is our transportation, the study. It's a 5-phase project, and we just completed phase 1 this year, which was the conversion of Spring Street to two-way traffic flow and Elm Street. And with that transportation study, we generated a new set of signal timings, and our plan is to launch those this evening. We have a central server with Actra software, which is a signal system software, and so we want to launch those new timings, and those are computer generated through traffic software. So we expect a few glitches here and there, and we ask that you call our Assistant City Engineer Eric Bontrager, and he can be contacted at 419-998-5512, or he can be emailed at eric, E-R-I-C, Bontrager, B-O-N-T-R-A-G-E-R, at cityhall.lima.oh.us. And we can modify those timings. So there's going to be changes throughout the system. We have 60 signals of our 100 total signals in the city that are on the coordinated system. So if you experience any unusual delay, give us a call, and we'll adjust those numbers appropriately. The system that we've been running, we've adjusted those over the many years that it has been running. So, but this is all looking at the entire transportation system. So, our goal is to reduce delay, reduce the number of vehicle stops, reduce travel time, reduce the amount of fuel consumed, and that's throughout the entire system. So, it's a pretty good system, and we've had a lot of a detailed look at the system, and we think these new timings will be an improvement. But like I said, if you notice any unusual delay along a certain corridor or intersection, just give us a call at the number provided. So,
Are there any tips for how to drive it?
well, a lot of the streets that you'll notice that if you did drive in one direction, we were able to coordinate traffic flow in one direction. If you drove the speed limit, you would hit the green lights, especially Market in the eastbound direction and Spring Street in the westbound direction. And the reason we do that is we take the highest volume of traffic and we coordinate in that direction. And unless the signals have a certain spacing and distance apart, and which is usually in the 1,500 to 2,000 foot range, which we don't. We have 500 foot city blocks or less in some cases. We can't coordinate in both directions. So we have to pick the direction with the most flow. With these new timings, we're also looking at AM, PM, and noon traffic volume. So we're trying to coordinate in the direction that it may be a higher volume into Lima in the morning on Market Street, but then again it may be higher volume in the PM going west on Market Street. So these signal timings try to take that all into account. We look at turning movements, So we're trying to make things more efficient than what they are, but there's going to be a few growing pains with that. So
So the bottom line is drive the speed limit, not faster than the speed limit.
correct. Yeah, if you drive the speed limit, most likely you'll get into the groove.
I know
Also,
we have a couple of people here with a heavy foot. That's why I'm saying that it's, if we drive the limit, you're going to ultimately make it through in the most efficient way.
yes, sir.
Okay.
Also, I wanted to just let everyone know that Elm Street between Cable and Woodlawn was opened earlier in the week, and it's a very nice project. Turned out very well. The residents seem pleased with it.
Yeah.
There are, of course, sidewalks down both sides, and the feedback that I've been getting is that, hey, I've met my neighbors that I've lived here for 30 years, and I didn't know who my neighbors were 2 houses down, and I think during construction they actually had a neighborhood block party. So I think the livability of Elm Street, not to mention the surface improvements, the drainage improvements, are hopefully well received. But the project was originally a $1.49 million project. It finished up at 1.55, so we spent about $50,000 more than the original contract amount, and most of that was from soft subgrade, where we had to excavate deeper and put in more stone to bridge that. So all in all, it came out very nice, and we're glad it's finished. And it seems to be working well. So thank you for everyone's patience while it was closed.
Thank you, Kirk. I've heard great remarks from folks in the neighborhood as well, and it's a great job, and we appreciate the fact that it's done before the snow flies. A couple of other items. Do want to invite Jerry Courtney to come up from Activate Allen County, where he has some announcements and a competition to kick off.
Thank you, Mayor. It's good to be here. As many of you know, last month we announced that Activate Allen County had received a $1.2 million Small Community Transformation Grant. The foundation of that grant was a community transformation plan that we submitted that had 19 objectives that we would initiate over the next 2 years related to healthy eating, active living, and tobacco-free lifestyles. This past month, our staff has been very busy with the Center for Disease Control in a review of that plan, and we hope by November 29th that the Center for Disease Control will sign off on the final work plan, and we can begin the implementation phase of the Small Communities Transformation Grant. But it's very exciting at this point in time, the work that we plan to do. As we move forward in January, many of you know, we'll be launching our mobile produce program with West Ohio Food Bank as the lead agency there. We have identified all of the food deserts in Allen County. Over 18,000 people live more than a mile from a grocery store, and we are identifying partners in those areas in order to know where or to identify where the stops will be for the mobile produce program. Part of that initiative is a healthy eating component. Two of our partners on Activate Allen County, Lima Memorial Hospital and St. Rita's, just this past month agreed to purchase a trailer and a mobile cooking station that could be attached to the bus or attached to a vehicle and taken out to different locations where we will do nutrition classes and healthy eating demonstrations. So we're very excited about the addition of the mobile cooking station that St. Rita's and LMH has agreed to finance. And then finally, part of the active living initiative is looking at how we can make our community more bike and pedestrian friendly. And in conjunction with the Bike Pedestrian Task Force of the Allen County Health Department and Activate Allen County, we are launching a bike rack design competition. There will be 2 divisions, one a high school division where all of the high schools in Allen County can participate and students can present their designs for a bike rack. And then an open division for local artists. You must be a resident of Allen County to submit entries. There will be 3 categories. There will be a category for large bike racks that can accommodate 6 to 8 bicycles. There will be a category for a medium bike rack for 3 to 5 bicycles, and then a small rack for up to 2 bicycles. I have the competition guidelines. The competition will run through February. At that point, representatives from Activate Allen County and the Bike Pedestrian Task Force will review all of the entries, and then we will announce the first, second, and third place winners in each category sometime in March. The next phase of that competition will be this spring. We will be launching an Activate Allen County website, and at that time we will there will be a section on the website of where residents in Allen County can actually nominate a location to put the racks. So it's kind of a 2-phased approach. We're very excited about the work and look forward to seeing you in the future with even better news.
All right,
Thank you,
great.
Mayor.
Thank you. We've actually seen some bike racks that other communities have put in place. Some of them are just absolutely wonderful and beautiful. So we know that we have lots of talented students and artists in our community that can dream up bike racks that kind of help us promote the whole idea that our community is focused on biking as a alternative transportation as well as a lifestyle commitment. So this is a great initiative, and obviously it also ties with our prior 2 announcements. We had sidewalks in both of these projects. The Vine Street grade separation made it possible to walk along Vine Street in a safe fashion for students and adults, but also the Elm Street project was very specifically built around the idea that the neighborhood needed sidewalks both for its purposes but also for St. Charles and the schools in that vicinity. So the whole idea of actually building a community that is pedestrian and bike friendly involves having to make investments in community infrastructure, and these 3 announcements really do tie together very well. Saul Allen is here with an update on where we are in our first pass through the city with our leaf collection program. Saul? Good morning.
And good morning, Lima. First round of leaf pick is continuing. As of right now, we have approximately 60% of the city completed. Specifically, the 5th and 6th wards are completed. The southern half of the 4th ward is completed, and the northern half of the 1st ward is completed. We start moving into the 7th ward today, and the 2nd and 3rd ward probably the end of the week. Once again, we just want to continue to tell residents, put your debris to the curb, not to the street, not to the street, not to the street. The one issue that we're still continuing to see is the issue with other debris, other debris being mixed in with the leaves, meaning wood, lumber, building materials. We're finding a lot of that material mixed in with the leaves, and we are bypassing those leaves. Also, once again, if you do not want to wait for us to come by and pick your leaves up, please feel free to bag. Bags have been available and are still available. We picked up at the Central Services office and also at the Water Collection Payment office, the old train depot, and that is still available. It is anticipated that we will complete the first round of pickup before Thanksgiving, and would, weather permitting, would start a second round that Monday following. If there's any questions through residents who have a question as far as whether or not we've already been through their areas or are still going to be in their areas, feel free to call my office, 419-221-5165, and the clerk there does have our master map that we have colored up as far as the areas we have and have not been in. So, thank you.
Thank you, Saul. They're doing a great job. Came down our street on Lakewood yesterday, and then came back this morning with the street sweeper, and it dressed it up wonderfully. So, and Ric Stolly from the Parks Department with another announcement about our basketball registration.
We glad to be back, Mayor. Just a couple of announcements. One is a reminder, and first of all, I also want to thank the media for all their help in promoting our programming for this winter, our youth boys and girls basketball programs. The deadline for sign up is tomorrow. And so we will remind again everyone, please get those application forms into us by 5 p.m. Thursday, the 15th. Numbers are starting to come about, so we're encouraged by that, and things are moving in the right direction. So after this last push and extending it for a few days here, that's paying off. So looking forward to another great winter of basketball. With that in mind, associated with the basketball program, we are also doing the hiring of those folks to help us to run the program at the site. Scoreboard operators. We also have scorekeepers, and then just game personnel along with officials that we bring on board. So we're in the process of bringing those people together. And also a reminder, as we start to get into the holiday season, which is right around the corner, we are reminding those folks interested in working for the city next summer. We begin taking applications for that process during the Thanksgiving break and the Christmas break for those college students that are coming home. So it is also a reminder to those young men and women to get out and get up and get those applications filled out, and let us know if you're interested in being a part of our summer programming. So those two announcements, again, we look forward to a great winter of youth basketball here in the city of Lima. Thanks, Mayor.
This Rick's second announcement there about the recruitment of college students for our summer program. This past spring, when we announced or kicked off the summer program, it was really impressive to see who we were able to attract as the teen and team leaders. We had PhD candidates, we had folks working on their masters, we had lots of bachelor degree folks, as well as students pursuing all of that. So having them there working with our kids as role models and talking about the importance of education throughout our summertime activities is really important. And it's a great tradition that we've established, and being able to connect with students during these holiday seasons is a really important activity. So we'll have it up on our website, and students can also be in touch with us via the city's website. Lastly, Connie Dershem is here with Chuck Sherlow. I think she convinced Chuck to come up. Last night we had a very special occasion, which was the graduation of our Care Academy, and I want to describe that. Connie?
Hi, I just wanted to let everybody know that the Care Academy for 2012 is finished now. We had our graduation last night. 19 community residents graduated from this 10-week academy. They have spent 30 hours learning about all the kinds of things in our community that people typically don't find out about, community assets and resources. And then these graduates will be helping other people in the community learn about all those things. They will also be helping people become engaged in the community and learn how to become involved in some of the decision-making processes. One of the graduates, Chuck Sherlow, is here today sporting his new Care Academy shirt. So if you see people in the community wearing those shirts, you'll know they are neighborhood resource specialists, and they can point you in the right direction for something that you want to know. Also, I want to let people know that we're going to start thinking about next year's academy. So if you know people or hear about people or you are a resident of the community, you think you might be interested, just give me a call, 419-221-5177. Thanks.
Anything you want to say, Chuck?
Yeah. I've been a resident of Lima since 1975, and I'm very proud to say I live in the city of Lima. And the Care Academy has increased my pride in Lima because I learned so many important things and so many resources this town has. And I would highly recommend anyone in the community to attend the Care Academy because you learn so many valuable things about the town. Thank you.
Thank you, Chuck. Connie, thank you.
Thanks.
It's a, I know that we have the Elm Lima Leadership Program, which also connects people to resources throughout the county. This really is a very grassroots-oriented initiative to try to get people aware of what happens, how things happen, and the other agencies that are involved in our community. So we want to encourage people to participate. And Chuck, we appreciate the fact that as a longtime, not just resident, but teacher, an educator in our community, that you took the time also to participate. I believe that's all that we have for today, so appreciate everybody's time, and we'll break down for individual interviews. Thank you.